Praise God from heaven, praise Him from the mountaintops. Hallelujah, praise Him, all you His angels. Praise Him, all you His warriors. Praise Him, sun and moon. Praise Him, your morning stars. Hallelujah, praise Him, high heaven. Praise Him, heavenly rain clouds. Praise, or let them praise the name of God. He spoke the word, and there they were. He set them in place, from all time to eternity. He gave me His order, and that's it. Praise God from earth. You see dragons, you fathomless ocean deeps. Fire and hail, snow and ice, hurricanes obeying His orders. Mountains and all hills, apple orchards and cedar forests. Wild beasts and herds of cattle, snakes and birds in flight. Hallelujah! Earth's kings and all races, leaders and important people. Robust men and women in their prime, and yes, graybeards and little children. Let them praise the name of God. It's the only name worth praising. His radiance exceeds anything in earth and sky. He's built a monument. His very own people. Praise from all who love God.
I'm getting this together. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm getting there. We got a lot of stuff to do tonight. I'm going to play a couple of songs here, I think, before. So just let me finish up because I didn't get a chance to change after work and stuff. So it's going to it's going to be a long setup here. Give me like 10, 15 minutes. Go get your soda pops and your popcorn because it's going to be a long, no, it's not going to be that long. I mean, it's going to be good. Okay, let me get this. Let's get this music flowing. Here we go. There, we're back. Is that not working? Oh, here we go. What's going on there? Is that not working? Oh, that's why. Hello. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. There you go. Enjoy this. Hold on. I think that comes. You know, hold on. I don't think that the sound's working on this. So let me change that a little bit. I'm going to put some background music up with this, if you don't mind. You know, oh, hold on. I don't think that. But I guess I got to leave my mic on. Oh, no. You really want to do that? All right, hold on. I'm going to figure out a different way, you guys, because I didn't realize. But I should realize that it's my OBS. So desktop audio. Let's do this. See if that. Working on it. Hold on. No, that's not it. Oh, for crying out loud. Hold on. Working on it. Hold on. You guys, I'm terrible at this. Stand by one. Oh, I'm trying to listen to it on 7 different things. I'm coming. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. This might work.
These are the Proverbs of Solomon, David's son, King of Israel. Their purpose is to teach people wisdom and discipline, to help them understand the insights of the wise. The purpose is to teach people to live disciplined and successful lives, to help them do what is right, just and fair. These proverbs will give insight to the simple, knowledge and discernment to the young. Let the wise listen to these proverbs and become even wiser. Let those with understanding receive guidance by exploring the meaning in these proverbs and parables. The words of the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. My child, if sins entice you, turn your back on them. They may say, come and join us. Let's hide and kill someone just for fun. Let's ambush the innocent. Let's swallow them alive like the grave. Let's swallow them whole like those who go down to the pit of death. Think of the great things we'll get. We'll fill our houses with all the stuff we take. Come throw in your line with us. We'll all share the loot. My child, don't go along with them. Stay far away from the paths. They rush to commit evil deeds. They hurry to commit murder. If a bird sees a trap being set, it knows to stay away. But these people set an ambush for themselves. They are trying to get themselves killed. Such is the fate of all who are greedy for money. It robs them alive. Wisdom shouts in the street. She cries out in the public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you
so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm. When disaster engulfs you like a cyclone. And anguish and distress overwhelm you. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency, but all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. These child, listen to what I say and treasure my commands. Tune your ears to will.
I'm getting there, you guys. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord. Then you will understand. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the paths of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. Then you will understand what is right, just and fair. And you will find the right way to go. For wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will fill you with joy. Wise choices will watch over you. Understanding will keep you safe. Wisdom will save from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil. Their actions are crooked and their ways are wrong. Wisdom will save you from the immoral woman, from the seductive words of the promiscuous woman. She has abandoned her husband and ignores the covenant she made before God. Entering a house leads to death. It is the road to the grave. The man who visits her is doomed. He will never reach the path alive. So follow the steps of the good and stay on the paths of the righteous. For only the godly will live in the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will the land and end, and the treacherous will be uprooted. None will stay what is right. Find the right way to go. My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfying. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people. And you will earn a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the best part of everything you produce. Then He will fill your barns with grain, and your vats will overflow with good wine. My child, don't reject the Lord's discipline. And don't be upset when He corrects you, for the Lord corrects those He loves, just as a father corrects a child in whom He delights. Joyful is the person who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold. Wisdom is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. She offers you long life in her right hand and riches and honor in her left. She will guide you down delightful paths. All her ways are satisfying. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Happy are those who hold her tightly. By wisdom the Lord founded the earth. By understanding He created the heavens. By His knowledge the deep fountains of the earth burst forth, and the dew settles beneath the night sky. My child, don't lose sight of common sense and discernment. Hang on to them, for they will refresh your soul. They are like jewels on a necklace. They keep you safe on your way, and your feet will not stumble. You can go to bed without fear. You will lie down and sleep soundly. You need not be afraid of sudden disaster or the destruction that comes upon the wicked. For the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it. When it's in your power to help them, if you can help your neighbor now, don't say come back tomorrow and then I'll help you. Don't plot harm against your neighbor for those who live nearby. Trust you. Don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm. Don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Such wicked people are detestable to the Lord, but He offers His friendship to the godly. The Lord curses the house of the wicked. He blesses the home of the upright. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame.
You guys, how long would I have gone? How long would I have gone without doing this? Oh my God. Okay, so mic's on. So this is a painting I've got going on. It's, I'll probably keep this up the whole time because we've got a lot to get through. I might pause it for a little bit here because the most important part is a special feature episode of an old sitcom that we're probably all familiar with. It's called different strokes, different strokes for different folks, that kind of a thing. Anyways, listen, I found it ironic that back in the 80s, I think it was the early 80s, late 70s, that they did this episode. Maybe it was mid 80s. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even paying attention to comments. Hey, what's up? Hello, everybody. Okay, yeah, now it's on. Okay, so you guys are gonna love it. I just love that it was like a PSA, public service announcement back then. I just want to show you kind of what's going on today in today's world in Minnesota. There's so much going on legislatively, so much that I'm trying to keep people apprised of in Minnesota. So we're going to do some. Let me move some stuff around here. I'm gonna actually shrink this down a little bit. And for right now, let me see, how am I going to do this? How will I do this? Okay, you guys, I didn't have a plan for this part because didn't think about it. Anyways, okay, so we'll just go like that. And we are going to start off looking at something that, okay, so let me just start with this. A few days ago, okay, I just realized that my stuff is on here. A few days ago, two GOP Minnesota GOP House reps were in committee. They left committee early, or was it on the House floor? And I think it was a committee meeting that they left early. They went, I'm guessing, for lunch, had a beer with lunch. I don't know how many beers. I'm sure it was just one, maybe two. But then anyways, after lunch later on, they had another, I don't know, they had a floor session. So they went back to that. And then I don't know if they went to dinner after the floor session, had a couple of beers with a couple of other people there. And ironically, somebody at the bar takes a snapshot of them. And I just somehow, shortly thereafter, they get pulled over. All in one car. One guy's driving. It just so I think there was like 3 or 4 people in the car at the time. I think it was 3 people. And somebody was in the back seat, and I think there was a passenger in the front seat. But anyways, there was a bottle or I don't know if it was an open container or some liquor or something was in the passenger seat. And I believe it was I don't know if it was a beer or a drink or whatever it was. And that was the person who I guess was in the back, which was a representative, and you're not going to believe this, Walter Hudson. And the driver was, oh my God, what's his first name? Engen. Eric, is it Eric Engen? Let me see. I think it is. Let me see. I don't even have it in here. Oh yeah, Elliot Engen. Okay, so anyways, Elliot Engen. And so I'm like, well, you guys, these 2 guys, I really like them. I like these people. But they got pulled over. Dude got a DUI here in Minnesota. I don't know what he blew. I don't think they released that yet or whatever. I'm really not sure. I'm not sure. I'm curious to see what the police report says. I want to know. I'm curious. I don't know if it's actually, I don't think it's out there because it's still active. So unless if they release it, I just don't know. It's very interesting though, because, I wonder how many House representatives actually have a past DUI. I mean, let's not go there, guys. You guys really want to go there? Let's not. I think that when you see the video that I'm going to show you, about who Elliot Engen really is, you'll be like, gee, this guy And so I just, it sucks. It kind of sucks, but you know what? He's got to go through it. It is going to be a trial in his life, and it's going to be a hurdle. He's going to have to get over this. And both him, usually, Walter Hudson is pretty vocal on the internet, but it's been nothing but crickets since this happened. And so, I mean, he and Walter Hudson and Elliot Engen have both been stripped of their committee duties. So they're not on any committees right now, and there's about 6 weeks left of the legislative session. Then they go on like a, I don't know, long break, couple months, whatever. I don't know how long it is. But you guys got to see this stuff that's going on here in Minnesota. And then not only that, we're going to start dabbling into what Representative Lee Finke, dude, you guys, this guy, he's a tranny, I believe, because he's a dude who wants to be referred to as a lady, but it's a dude. And so I get that he's got his mental, this is my opinion, is that trannies are basically mentally ill people that, just have issues. They got some issues, and they can't be sucking me into their mental illness. I ain't calling a dude a chick. It is what it is. I don't care. You know what? It is what it is. It just is what it is. It's my personal belief system, it just got, no, I guess I gotta shut up before I get myself in trouble. Anyways, you guys, I'll let you see what he said, and the people that, and the whole discussion on it, because the whole discussion about what this dude proposed, that we can't make sure that we keep queer porn available to juveniles for those that are queer, for the queer kids, apparently, is what basically he said. You'll see that too. Anyways, let's see, what kind of videos did I make? I made some videos today. Let's see if I can find them. Let's see if I can find my videos. You know what I should totally do is just take you to Channel 5 local news. They just got everything there. It's so ridiculous. You know what? I just realized that I'm not even sure that I have the video that I want, because I don't see it on here, and it's probably still on my phone. It didn't upload yet. So I apologize. I am just totally, last week I was going to stream some of this stuff, and I realized that my internet wasn't working. And so I'm like, oh my God, you guys, I struggled. I tried, but it didn't happen. Okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and I'll play you the one that I made here about with the whole Lee Finke. This is kind of going to be a little bit out of order. I don't really want to do that. Shoot, no, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll wait. Let's go with this one. Let's see. Well, I basically explained the whole what do you call it? What's his name? Like the promo to the show. That I showed that to you, so that's kind of what it was. But let's go ahead and just watch the video about this guy. This is the guy that they arrested for DUI. He's a really nice guy. He's a Minnesota rep. I believe he's in like Anoka or Andover or someplace over there. I'm not sure. I think it's Anoka. I'll have to look it up. I really didn't. I know he's a Minnesota rep, but they were all the way out in White Bear Lake, which is way far away. So I don't know who lives over there. So here we go. Let's pull this up. Why is this not pulling up? That is so weird. Here you go. Here it is. And audio. Here we go. Okay, you guys. Let's watch this. This is actually pretty interesting. Here we go. Let's watch this. Okay.
All right, welcome back to the Vince Miller Show. I, of course, am Vince Miller. I'm sitting here with my son-in-law, Elliot Engen. Good to have you again.
Good to be back, man.
Yeah. Father, son, pastor, politician.
Even though I can't stand that term.
Yeah,
Just the
I
word
know.
is gross.
Why don't you like the word politician?
Because a politician's a sleazeball. I don't trust any of them. They're about as trustworthy as gas
Buddy.
stations.
I don't trust you either, man.
Come on.
Yeah, I get the same thing. You don't think
You're only
other
the size
people
of
think,
pastor.
as pastors are sleazeballs
Oh,
too?
wait.
I think,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, it's definitely something that's like just inherently
Yeah.
when you say, "Oh, I'm a state rep," "Oh, you're a politician," people
Yeah.
kind of like look at you.
Yeah.
Do you get that as a pastor?
oh, once in a while. Yeah.
Really?
You should, by the time I get to the 14th hole with a foursome that I haven't played with before, and all of a sudden they ask me what I do finally, I tell my pastor, you should see the look in their
Oh
eye.
my
They're like,
gosh.
what dirty jokes have I told? How many beers have I had? I'm on my fourth cigar.
I'll do
you know?
confession on the 18th hole.
Yeah,
That's
oh
what
my goodness,
Right.
you should see. It's like a deer in headlights. In fact, every once in a while they just kind of get over it quick, and someone goes, "Hey guys, you gotta talk with Vince. He's a bleeping pastor."
So you guys, let me just tell you, this video, this is last October. So just a few months ago. What is that? 6 months ago? So just so you know, 5-6 months ago. Just wanted you guys to be aware of the timing on this.
No way.
Okay, you gotta be kidding
That's
me. Okay.
awesome, man.
Yeah, that's what it's like. So
That's funny.
Anyway, I'm so happy that you're willing to have these conversations with me, Elliot. It's so much fun. I mean, we'd be having we're having these conversations anyway, right?
Right, like around a dinner table.
Yeah, I know we're having them. We're like, we should just record them because we're entertaining ourselves mostly.
Right.
So you guys get to be a part of that entertainment. Today, I want to talk about just why the silence, right? Like why, Elliot, for so long have pastors, politicians, I call you a lawmaker. We can go with lawmaker.
No, it's
right?
okay. You can say politicians.
Why do spiritual leaders and lawmakers, why have we been silent for so long? And what has been the result of that? And I know I want to speak about that from a pastor's point of view, but let's just start with you. I mean, start with your generation. Is it your perspective from your generation that the older generation has been far too silent about our beliefs in the truth of the gospel?
I think from our generation's perspective, we're almost sitting here wondering, why doesn't anybody else see what we see? Why doesn't anybody else recognize the times that we're in and how turbulent they are, and how they necessitate action, an immediate action, if we're going to reverse course, right the ship, and get our compass back to due north, because it's so far astray right now.
Okay, so you're saying your generation and younger senses this.
Oh, they know it.
They know it. And how do they know it? Like, give me a couple of examples.
So I'm going to pull this up here. I actually just Googled these prior to us hitting record.
Oh, okay.
Here is what silence has gotten us. If you Google, is Minnesota a trans-friendly state? And what is the age limit for gender-affirming care in Minnesota?
Oh my
Gender-affirming
God.
care also meaning cross-sex hormones, only previously given to people who were convicted of the most heinous sexual acts ever, to prevent them from ever being able to be, they're sterile now. They
We're
don't
trans
reproduce.
friendly
Yes,
here in
right, right.
Minnesota.
So there are no restrictions on access to gender-affirming care for minors in Minnesota law. In fact, just the opposite. In 2023, in the first few weeks of the Minnesota legislative session, the state legislature passed sweeping and broad access, calling it the Trans Refuge State Bill. This is another one. Minnesota law regarding abortion. So since 1976, required responsible medical personnel must use all reasonable measures consistent with good medical practice to preserve the life and health of a born alive infant. This is an infant that's survives an abortion. They're now outside of the womb and should be afforded human rights under
Right.
God, biblically, and under, I think, just morality writ large. But
Even though you and I would believe they were due rights long before
even
that, yeah.
way before that.
Right.
The legislation that Walz signed in May of 2023 got rid of the word preserve and replaced the previous wording with a revised requirement to care for the infant who is born alive. So they call it a comfort care abortion. This is somebody who can be placed on a table after already been born and left to die. I kid you not. And they say that this never happens. The left always says that. But when we tried to just simply put that word back in, they voted no on it.
Interesting.
So kind of gives away the ballgame. If this thing never happens, then why wouldn't you vote to make sure that it never happens?
So you're saying your generation sees these things,
You're right.
and readily sees them,
Yeah.
as evil, as wrong, as not aligned with the truth of God. Even is that what you're saying?
Oh, God, for sure.
yeah.
But even just human morality or dignity on a basic level. What's so funny to me is even atheists or folks who don't engage in religious discussions or have any self-prescribed religion, what they're telling us is that from somewhere they have this subjective sense of good and evil, and murder, chief amongst them, they would say is an evil. But yet when you ask them, like, where does that come from? They're like, well, it's just bad to kill people. Like, well, why is it bad to kill people? If it's all subjective, if this whole laws and governing thing that we're, mandating everybody else live by is just subjective, why are there such things as natural laws at all?
Yeah.
And those natural laws always lead back to God.
Yeah.
The political discussion always leads back to God, because we must derive right and wrong from somewhere, and it's all found in Scripture.
Of course, I believe that, and I believe that Scripture is the divine revelation outside of earth, right? By God Himself, because we need something more than just common morality to lead us, because my idea of common good is different from somebody else's understanding of common good. We need to reach beyond common good, whatever that means, into divine morality disclosed in time and space to us through God, by Jesus Christ, through His life, death, resurrection, so that we might have that essential truth that we order our lives by, which is called politics, by the way. The
Right,
truth
exactly.
by which we order our life by, right? That governs our life. And so you're saying that people your age and younger, they see this. This is like right and wrong is obvious to them. They see some of these things as the antithesis of good, evil.
It is evil.
And they feel that there's a need to step into this gap of silence.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't, where's it going to lead to next? I know we've spoken previously on minor attracted persons or sexually attracted to minors, SAMs and MAPS, which is now trying to be also interjected into the LGBTQIA2S plus movement.
It's a lot of letters.
It's a lot of letters. And I always remember all of them, because the more that we add to it, the more it kind of makes us recognize maybe this is a little bit of a slippery slope too.
Yeah.
But how far are we willing to go, and how silent are we willing to be simply to not upset the apple cart or rock the boat? Because there seems to be this like cultural mandate that we must, X, Y, or Z person is trans. And so now we're going to all have DEI seminars in our workplaces to understand how we're supposed to communicate with people and what we can say and can't say. How, you can believe these things in your home, but while you're here, you must couch those ideas. You must couch those beliefs and set them to the wayside and prescribe to the notions that we've subjectively set up as our own moral standards or high ground. And that's disgusting, because ultimately what it does is it handcuffs Christians into no longer being Christian outside of their home. And what happens then? What happens when your kid is no longer a Christian outside of your home? They're not a Christian. I mean, it doesn't take much to recognize that they get sent to a liberal arts college, and all of a sudden they come to Thanksgiving after their freshman year and they're a very different person.
Oh, see, and I'm actually even worried about it younger. I mean, I'm thinking about, you have a child now. I'm thinking about what happens in our educational system and the teachers there that are passing on indoctrination passively and actively in a classroom that I cannot see, and re-educating and indoctrinating my grandchildren, right? Your child.
Keep talking, because I'm going to show you where it leads to.
It concerns me, because my beliefs would conflict with those beliefs, right? And I would say that that's completely unfair, especially to a child who is extremely pliable and moldable at that age, and might secretly have this relationship with a teacher who's persuading them to do things that are outside of my belief system as a father, or my wife as a mother, or you as a father and your wife as a mother to their children. I mean, if we choose to be silent in those moments, we thus become complicit to the ramifications of those things. So maybe speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So being silent led to a bill being passed in Minnesota that requires all students 3rd grade and up to learn queer theory.
Required.
That is in our curriculum standards here in Minnesota through the Department of Education.
That should be concerning to pastors and Christians.
What?
Correct?
Right. Because now it is required that your student be
your
given.
Kid.
Yeah, your kid.
Child. Yeah.
Your child.
What?
Is forced to go to a school where they will. It is their explicitly stated mandate to undo the values that you've prescribed to your child. That should scare the living hell out of all of us. And we only got here through that silence. We only got here through, making it seem as if, I don't agree with it, but I'm just gonna go along to get along. I'm not gonna rock the boat. Yeah. It's time to rock the boat, because it's rocking you back.
Because that's good, Elliot. I have kind of sensed for a long time that my generation, so I'm in my 50s, right? So my generation has passively disengaged from the conversation.
It's easy to want to, because it's so infuriating.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, because that's a good point. It is infuriating, and you don't want to come at it wrong. You don't want to have the wrong temperament, and
I feel like it's out of your hands a little bit too.
Yeah,
probably.
and it is a little bit out of your hand. And you said go along to get along, which is very Minnesotan, by the way. We just kind of passively.
I'll say it in a better way. If you're not doing politics, politics is doing you.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. And in my humble opinion, I think that my generation. So I'm a Gen Xer, right? My generation has kind of trailed behind the boomers. The boomers have just kind of done their own thing. Some of them have engaged in the conversation, and some not. My generation, I think we kind of completely disengaged for fear of engaging. I predominantly work with men in ministry, right? And I have watched the silence of men over my time, where we have chosen to not disengage, which I think is a common problem for men, is trying to figure out, we're afraid to engage, so we disengage, and then we don't lead spiritually, and then we just let the culture have its way with our marriage, our family, in the workplace, with our kids. And honestly, it's probably time to say, had enough. And I think we've gotten to that place, Elliot, because now we're ill-equipped to understand how to respond. I think this is actually part of the mystique of Charlie Kirk. He stepped into a world and answered questions that I would say my generation older doesn't know how to answer. We're afraid to answer. We're afraid to do it politely. We're scared of losing relationships. We want to keep everything intact. We don't want to rock the boat in our...
That's a generational bridge then, because our generation felt as if we couldn't say anything out of fear of being chastised or ostracized from our peers. We were growing up in a society that mandated that we simply accept the fact that you could be any gender and there's no definable number of them in existence. That we must, abortion's healthcare, we must say that. Oh, we must do the George Floyd walkout from school. Like those were things that literally were happening while I was in undergrad and even before that. And then Charlie Kirk kind of appears on the scene and he starts saying things that we all believed, but we were fearful of saying. And then he created a movement of people who said, why in the hell do I have to stay silent?
Male and female.
This guy's saying it. He moved the Overton window and what was socially acceptable and how we were allowed to say it. And so that's kind of what sparked this movement, which is now a spiritual revival. But we got there through silence. We got there through complacency. And it's time to turn that around.
Yeah, that's super good. I feel the same urge. I mean, that's why you and I are recording these conversations, is I feel the same urge to equip, prepare, train ourselves to think rightly about the issues of our time, speak into them politely, figure out a way to guide ourselves through it. Because, I mean, if we don't, it's just like you were talking about the alphabet soup acronym that I can't even remember all those letters, right?
LGBTQIA2S+. And then they're trying to put maps or
so ridiculous.
Golly, I can't even. And I believe, it's my personal belief, that identity is imparted by the God of the universe.
Yes,
he took the question off the table because he knew that we're unable to play God of our identity. In fact, the Bible teaches that we should lay our identity down and be renamed by the identity of Christ, taking the shape and the form of Jesus Christ, like he did. And man, that's a whole nother way to think about it. Instead of playing our own God and forming our own identity, we're imparted and given an identity by Jesus Christ. And I think the world wants to twist truth. And a lot of us feel incapable to respond to some of these things. And then there's been this new language, I've heard it very recently, called toxic empathy. Have you heard that language before? Where we are called to empathize with a toxic idea. And if we don't empathize, then shame on us for not
allowing them to live out their truth.
Yes.
Right. So if my child, who will be, 2 going on 2 here pretty soon, if he wants to be a pirate, should I chop off his leg and give him an eye patch, poke out his eye? Or would that not be loving? Would that actually be the antithesis of love? Would I be hurting them? If they wanted to fly by jumping off of the roof, would it be me being, toxically unempathetic to say, don't go for that, buddy? It's gonna hurt you. Yeah. No, I should always applaud and say, you are a bird. Yeah. And we have this all loving, omnipotent and omniscient God and creator who we're called to serve and we're called to worship. And somehow we're going to go around in our daily lives under this notion that he mixed up the body that he was supposed to put a soul into. Like, no, he didn't. Mm-hmm. He didn't do that. You weren't born in the wrong body. Maybe there's something else going on here. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that we can't love these people. We're called to love these people. Yeah. But we shouldn't also enable that self-destruction and that self-destructive, ideology that has people as young as 1 year old being sexually transitioned and their genitals being mutilated. Yeah. That's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. And here's the strange thing about this, Elliot, is like,
and they're it's so bad, you guys.
I feel like the more evil,
it's creepy
and divisive it's been, the more I feel compelled to understand and to speak out about it. Because it's one thing for an adult male or an adult female to choose to live their own truth and be identified however they want to be identified.
We still recognize there only being one truth, but you want to go do that? Like, you're over the age of
but I don't want laws governing me away from what I believe is truth or what the Bible teaches is truth. I also don't want my children or grandchildren to be indoctrinated by that untruth. And I don't believe that the free market, the marketplace, should be forcing us to do certain things like that too, taking away my opportunity to voice my beliefs, lean in to my beliefs about Jesus Christ, and to share those beliefs as well. And I think that adults have been far too silent too long. Therefore, they're ill-equipped. Therefore, they hear this voice of self-disqualification. Therefore, they don't speak into them because they haven't spoken into them ever before. And then, you hear these families that are, divided by their beliefs, whether Christian or not, or left or right. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of those things happen because, well, we didn't know how to speak into it. We didn't do it well. It came across uncaring. Now, neither side is going to listen to each other. And it's just a big mess. And I know a lot of families are navigating that right now. So I want to be sensitive to it. But I think being complicit in silence has gotten us nowhere as a church and as a country.
Well, so this is how bad it's gotten. Right now, we have it in California. There's a misgendering law. When somebody purposefully misuses your chosen pronouns in a blatant attempt to undermine, belittle, or hurt you and your identity, that's considered a form of gender discrimination, and you can sue them.
Yeah, how would we know someone's motivation behind that?
Well, if we're just living out the Christian beliefs that we know to be true, and wanting to go and impart that on our kids, and hopefully see some of that in our society, that's subject to a lawsuit now because we've stayed silent for too long.
Yeah,
we allowed that to dominate the marketplace of ideas while we couched our own ideas, and that led to this. So I think, in this discussion, we should be talking about how people can start to push back, because it probably feels weird because they haven't for so long. And it's not a fault of their own. It's a fault of all of ours, right? Somebody would only ever feel like they could speak up if others are doing so as well. But we're talking about leaders, particularly leaders that are male. I mean,
right.
There's a male-dominated podcast probably, or at least mostly geared towards.
Yeah.
So how can men start to lead again and press back against the culture that's obviously trying to upheave all the values that they believe?
Yeah.
If they're watching this.
Yeah. And why don't you speak about that? I have thoughts on that, but I'm kind of curious, like, you are working in a political environment in the House where you've seen a lot of these things play out. Can you tell the listeners how you have felt as a Christian man, father, leader? How have you felt on that floor when a lot of these ideas and ideologies are being thrown at you? What does it look like, and how does it feel for you to speak into those things when you are vastly outnumbered?
So I would say in my first term, in the first couple months of my first term, when I was speaking to my beliefs on the House floor, I was getting a lot of these looks of confusion and dismay, almost like I'm speaking Yiddish or some other language that's unidentifiable and saying crazy things. And then for a while, I was wondering to myself, like, am I doing this right? Am I just missing the mark in my communication style? Is this flying over their head, going in one ear and out the other? I was looking inward to try to figure out why it was that logic, which is what I was using, seemed to be illogical. And then I recognized that, that's how they want you to feel. That means that you're over the mark. And at first, they're going to look at you that way to see if you shut up, if you self-censor, if you start to just not speak at all, because then what they're effectively doing is putting a muzzle on you, but you're doing it yourself.
Shaming you publicly.
And we're doing it ourselves, because if we don't speak again, because my gosh, look at the other side of the aisle, look at the left. They don't seem to understand what it is I'm saying. I'm just going to sit here and not say anything anymore. Cool. They just got one less person speaking truth, which is antithetical to what they're believing, which is this subjective morality.
So can I speak back what I'm hearing now?
Yeah.
I'm hearing that you're standing on the floor, you're speaking, and you can tell that you're getting a lot of looks. So you're feeling shamed by the audience a little bit, right?
The audience of the other side.
Right. And you got to push through that, is what I heard you say. Find ways to articulate yourself that are appropriate and aligned with truth.
Yes.
And do you feel like you've gained any ground?
So I need to recognize that I'm not speaking to them. I'm not going to change their vote. These people are in there because their religion is politics, and that religion is baked into the belief that men are God, that God does not exist, that we can rule ourselves.
Good.
We can determine what our identities are, what our gender is on any given day-to-day basis. We can change all of those things because there is no natural law that comes from God. So I need to recognize, I'm not speaking to that crowd. So when they look at me like I'm crazy, that's probably a good sign. But what's even better is when they boo you or they attack you. Because when you have arrows being flung at you, it means you're over the target. It means that you're effective. Look at Charlie Kirk. He got shot because he was really, really good at just having a conversation with somebody and having them be led to a completely different ideological persuasion than the one that 4 years, of an undergrad at some of these universities would try to teach them, if it wasn't already ingrained into them by a public education K through 12 that is now mandated to teach them gender ideology at the age of 8. And he was on doing that pretty well. They shot him for it. You're going to receive pushback. You're going to receive a lot of those slings and arrows, and you got to wear them as a badge of honor. You can no longer see this as being socially isolated or ostracized or othered, and not just in politics. Because I understand that I'm probably saying this to a bunch of folks who are listening who work, in the corporate world, or maybe they work in, some sort of a company that's a Fortune 400 or Fortune 500, and there are policies and kind of bylaws that are naturally prescribed within that organization that you must adhere to. And so I'm not telling you to go out and, get those slings and arrows right away and get fired and all of a sudden you're out of a job and you're not able to feed your family. What I'm saying is you don't have to put up with their version of what must be mandated or taught.
So that's good. I want to stop you there because I think you're giving some great advice here, but is to stand up, speak the truth, anticipate the attack, the pushback, and you've pushed through quite a bit of that, haven't you? Like,
oh, I love it.
Okay, you love it. Okay,
so you have to embrace it.
You do have to embrace. Why?
Because when the enemy, when you know that we believe in an enemy, we believe in a devil, we believe in right and wrong. We know that this is a spiritual battle.
Right.
It's not of flesh and blood, but of
It
powers and
is. It
principalities.
is. It really
We now
is.
recognize that as Christians, diving into the Word, and we live that out. Then when the demons shriek, it's nothing but a futile last attempt to shut you up, even after you've already won.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to see it as a badge of honor when you get shot down, or when you get when people try to smear you, even for speaking out those beliefs.
Dude has no idea what he's gotten himself into, quite honestly, you guys. Because if you think about what's really let me pull this up here. I moved my camera around and I'm like, oh, okay. Here, let's do that. That way I can make myself bigger for a second. I'm so big now. You guys, forgot I got my little tub and my vacuum cleaner over here. Don't look. Anyways, listen. This guy is going to be having a real struggle. He's going to really feel like he failed God at this point because he's now got a DWI. He's got a DUI. It's on his record. He got stripped of his committee assignments. This guy, he's gonna lose his license for a year. It's not gonna go well for him. I think it was a setup, but I could be wrong. I would like to know. You're right. Innocent until proven guilty. And it's just gonna suck, though. This poor guy, his whole life is going to get fucked. Now his insurance is going to go up. He lost. Who knows about his pastor job? Are they going to condemn him too? Is this going to be a life? You know what? He's going to feel like that. But he just has to, you know what? He's just got to trust God. You know what? Does he trust God? He knows what he's called to do. He knows that he's going to be continually learning about what Christ is trying to show him throughout his entire life. I'm still learning that. We all are. We are all constantly learning about right. Not dirty cops. Well, maybe it might be dirty cops. We don't know because trust me, I know there's a lot of dirty cops out there. Anyways, don't get me started. Anyways, but yes, this actually did happen in a suburb. But I questioned this area. I'm a little concerned. I don't know if this is just a fluke thing or if this is something to take him back a notch. Maybe I don't know. I mean, he always seemed to present himself quite well and very, like a good guy. And he is a good guy. You know what? We all have a beer. We all have beer. You know what? He said that he was sober cabbing that night. Oh, dude, last thing. Number one, don't give them any information. Don't help their investigation. You are under no obligation to help any police officer with their investigation. It should be upon you to be polite and follow the law and just, deal with it. Best, just don't put yourself in this situation, and I think, I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what? He's going to learn a really hard lesson, and this is going to suck for him and his whole family. And you guys remember, this man has principle. So I think he did put a statement out, so we'll look at that real quick after this. I'll pull it up, but I think I found it. I'll go back and find it, or at least something that said that he put a statement out. Finally, because I have not heard anything except for just a little bit ago while I've been streaming that something popped up. So we'll take a look at that. Let me get back to this video. I lost the page where the video's on. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Let's finish this up real quick. I'll put it on fast.
And I would just
But it's good.
beg people to also see it that way for their own sake and their own lives. And it doesn't need to be on a House floor. It doesn't need to be in the political sphere. But next time you have a DEI seminar at work and they're mandating that you go through the gender ideology and expression expectations that you're supposed to, walk around and tiptoe through during your 9 to 5, stand up and walk out. Say, this isn't for me. Sorry.
Mhm.
No, I'm not. I'm here to, sell a widget or make something or, do the job that I was hired on to do. I'm not here to get a lecture as to what morality is based off of your subjective sense of it.
Mhm.
And you're seeing that start to go away
Mhm.
because so many people have started to do that.
Mhm.
But for so long, I think our silence enabled and incentivized others within those corporate spheres or social spheres or school-based, education-based spheres. Just all institutions seem to be hurtling towards that belief
Mhm.
that this is how it's supposed to be done. We need to have this seminar. Walk out.
Yeah,
Walk out.
it's so good. I actually agree with you. I think there's something, and I'm glad you pointed to how this works itself out in just our work life, the workplace, because I think that's where a lot of these people feel the pressure. I know you feel the pressure in your workplace, which happens to be the floor. But a lot of these people out there have struggled through this for the last few years,
Right.
and have dealt with the shame that goes with it, have struggled to find their voice, are afraid they're going to lose their jobs, their livelihoods. And I would say, well, there might be a benefit to doing that too, and making a
The guy
little
just
sacrifice.
lost his life, and it's leading to spiritual revival.
Exactly.
I think we should be able to put our jobs on the line at some point.
At some point, we've got to speak into it.
Right.
We've got to get over the shame that we feel. We've got to get over the inability maybe we have to articulate ourselves into those things sometimes. We've got to arm ourselves with the truth, meaning literally be in the truth and understand how to articulate our positions on a variety of different things, which I know is something that you're thinking about all the time because you're engaging in a face-off with these people all
If I'm
the
not grounded
time.
in the gospel, I'm going to fall.
Yeah, I'm
You know
worried.
what I mean?
I'm always worried about that for you
Right.
and praying for you through
I
that.
appreciate it.
But I think like people in just living out in commonplace through life, with their family, in education, in the workplace, on the recreational field, we should be less ashamed to speak into some of these things and to push into it and to like understand how do we navigate into those conversations and have a belief system that we are willing to talk about and to witness to others about and to do it in a loving way. And that's where this gets really hard is I think love speaks truth. At the same time, it is gracious to people. I just think that sometimes we fail to speak the truth because we're afraid of hurting someone, and we just want to be kind and just put up with it. But putting up with it for too long, we have been silent and complicit in a lot of the issues that are happening in the world, and some of those things are evil.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's from enabling that those things grow. But one question I would ask your audience, and we should ask ourselves, is what hill are we willing to die on? Peter rejected Jesus 3 times, even after being witness to his crucifixion. And, it was called that he was going to do that. What is it that we're willing to also reject that we know to be true in our day-to-day lives because our culture might isolate us or ostracize us for saying it?
Yeah.
We need to draw a line in the sand.
Okay, so that's probably a good place to end this one, Elliot, would be to talk about practical ways that we could lean into untruth. And I'll just be honest with you. I think we're talking about big issues right now. I know that. I mean, these are big issues. We're talking about massive political issues, massive ideologies that are of the enemy. And, maybe there's just ways that we can step people through it. And one of the things I would say to people is learn how to speak about the truth and divide between good and evil. And maybe you just start with like really simple things like, I'm not going to fudge that report. Maybe that's where it begins. No, I'm not going to cheat the system. No, I'm not going to lie to my mom and dad. No, I'm not, you know what I mean? We just start with like little things. We think that we've got to attack these big things all the time. Like, the HR department and the DEI agenda, maybe that's not your first step. I don't know.
Maybe making the bed in the morning is the first step. You know what I mean? Like the smallest and most incremental steps ultimately lead to the greatest growth.
Yeah. Maybe it's just dealing with a false belief that you've held for a really long time about God, about about the Bible. Maybe it's dealing with a private sin. Maybe there's an untruth regarding a repetitive sin in your life that you need to address. You just start there. And I promise that if you fight one battle, you'll be armed to fight another battle and another battle, but it's all untruth. That's what it is.
Right.
It's just we have been complicit in embracing things that are untrue, and we've adopted them and adapted them and enabled it in our lives, and therefore we experience the silence in our life. And I think it's just time to end the silence. We've been silent enough about our issues. We've been silent enough about civic issues, political issues, Christian issues, and we need to lean into it. And someday this may mean that you lean into an untruth that's preached from a platform in your church. Someday you maybe lean into an HR department that's saying no or demanding a yes from you in a certain area that
Maybe you engage in politics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it leads to down the road. But
Yeah.
I think Viktor Frankl, I love this quote by him. He said, perhaps if man wants to fix the world, he should start by fixing himself.
Mhm.
And so that's where we must be first grounded in the gospel.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So maybe these are some thoughts that you're thinking about today with us.
bro.
We appreciate you listening, both Elliot and I, but we got to step into the places in our
No truer words have been said. This guy just doesn't even know it at this point in time. 6 months ago, he's saying these things. Can you imagine what he's up against? He needs to remember his own words, and I hope that he does, because this is going to be, like I said, a really hard time in his young life. I'm not sure how old he
life.
is. I'll
We've been
look that
silent
up
too
here in a
long,
second.
and it's time to break free from this and to become a part of this great awakening. So just do your part. Like, do your part. If it's a small thing, it's a big thing. If you're looking for ways to engage, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to guide you down a path even.
This might be on the whim, Vince, but I have an idea here.
Oh
For
my
however many
God.
people end up watching this, could be a couple hundred, could be a couple thousand. We don't know. We're hoping we're not just
27.
speaking to ourselves right now.
Yeah.
But maybe we are, and that's fine too.
Kid.
Maybe we should hear
I'm
from the
glad he
audience as
learned
to
it
what
young.
they want us to dive into.
You know what I
questions
mean?
that they have, or particular areas of concern or interest, whether in the political realm or obviously, first and foremost, it should be regarding how
Just
a
our faith.
Christ-based lens
Mhm.
should dive into those issues. So,
Girl.
is there a way for people
Yeah,
to
just
reach out and do that?
Leave your question in the comments below. Right
Look at
there.
that.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that,
Scotty.
You sound like an influencer, like a Gen Z influencer on TikTok or
Ting,
something.
ting,
man.
ting, ting.
I
Give us
love
a
it.
like. Give us
Yeah.
a thumbs up.
I need the gray hair. Yeah.
He's 27 years old. The boy's 27 years old. Dang it. Oh, jeepers. How old? Yeah. Jeepers. Oh man, his life's gonna suck for a minute. But you know what? It's gonna be a good learning experience for him, and this is only gonna make him stronger. How he chooses to respond. Let's see how he responded. Apparently, he finally came out with a statement. Oops, I didn't mean to hit subscribe. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Unsubscribe. Okay, wait. Share that. That's what I meant to do. Let's see what he says.
Hearing from Republican State Representative Elliot Engen after he was arrested early this morning on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. In a statement, Engen says, quote, "To my family, colleagues, and constituents, I am deeply sorry. I strive to be a man of great character, and my actions fell short last night. I will learn from this. I will do better," end quote.
Oh, well.
He was arrested just hours after giving a speech on the Minnesota House floor. According to White Bear Lake Police, Engen, who is also running for state auditor, was pulled over just before 2 a.m. for speeding, expired registration, and a headlight that was out. Police said that Engen had a blood alcohol content of 0.13, almost 2 times the legal limit.
They lowered
Just
the
in
legal
this
limit.
afternoon, we're hearing from Republican State Representative Elliot Engen after
Okay. Yes, guys, that's what was going on. In fact, this is actually what is going on in the Minnesota House.
Tom Hauser at the Minnesota State Capitol, where it sure seems very quiet, at least outside the Capitol, but I assure you, much busier inside, especially because there are ethics complaints like this one flying around the Capitol aimed at both Republican and Democratic lawmakers. First, the Republicans. You may recall just before the recent Easter Passover break, 2 state lawmakers were accused of leaving a committee hearing and going to a nearby bar and having beers and burgers.
So this is
Later, they
Elliot on
came
the
back
right,
to the state capitol for a House
Walter
floor
Hudson
session.
on the left.
And later that night, one of those 2 lawmakers was arrested for drunk driving while the other was in the vehicle with him. That is why this ethics complaint has been filed. Now, we did hear from House Speaker Lisa Dameth about the punishment for those two lawmakers. Both of them have been stripped of all of their committee assignments. Also, there's been another ethics complaint filed against a DFL lawmaker accused of a conflict of interest, saying that he was a paid lobbyist for Save the Boundary Waters while also carrying legislation to help the Boundary Waters. Republicans say that was a clear conflict of interest. Again, those are a couple of the things going on here at the state capitol. With only 6 weeks left to go in the legislative session, Speaker Dameth promises there will be hearings on both of these ethics complaints, again, that were filed just today.
That ought to be interesting to
Look at Knots to buy?
Yeah, always doing trades.
We got some good stuff.
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to.
I'm Tom Hauser at the Minnesota State.
Let's see. Oh my God, what is this?
5 Eyewitness News reporter Ben Henry here after sitting down with Hennepin County Sheriff Dewana Witt, asking her why the sheriff's office found itself more than $15 million over budget last year.
Why did the agency find itself over budget, so much over budget?
Well, because we're not given full funding. We're not given the full funding that we need to operate this agency. And then there's also things that have happened, in our communities that force us to respond. We don't have the luxury of saying, well, you know what, we're at budget capacity, so we're not going to respond to 911 calls. Oh, we're going to not take anybody else into the jail. That is not what we ever have the option to do. The funding that we do get is about 73 full-time positions short of what we're authorized to have. And so what that ultimately means is we start off in the hole. And so when you're thinking about $9.6 million that the sheriff's office is authorized to have that we're not giving.
Oh no, they're giving it away.
Yeah,
You know what
I'm gonna
they're
be over
doing in
budget.
Hennepin County and in Minneapolis? They're giving away your money. They're giving away the Minneapolis. These guys, they're idiots. Oh, you guys, it's so bad. They're giving their money away to failing businesses because of ICE. Because ICE was here, and so these Minneapolis businesses are failing because of No, it's because of the protesting of ICE. Nobody wants to be around that. And it shows. Nobody. I mean, people really don't spend money in Minneapolis unless if you're a good business and you got nothing to do with them. But once you realize or find out that ICE isn't allowed on their premises, that's when you turn around and you walk out and never go back. That's what I do anyways. If I ever see that after, you know what I mean? I'm just like, all right.
A new report by the Federal Reserve and Hospitality Minnesota says more people are watching their budgets, less likely to go to their favorite restaurant or hotel. We're inside a St. Paul bed and breakfast. They've changed their pricing schedule here to keep people coming in. Everyone working hard to make sure people will keep spending their hard-earned cash. A new report by the Federal...
I don't have a Stanley shirt.
They don't call him Norm.
Can I get one?
But Robin Hatterscheid always sits at the same stool at Stanley's Northeast Barroom.
Oh, it's a, hop, skip, and a jump to get here.
Even after the events of Monday morning.
Dudes, I sat in this corner at this bar, this very table, where it was, and basically I remember looking out. One day I was with my friend, and kid you not, I just have her this like premonition that I look out there and I'm just like, I could just see an accident happening. And I go, I can just see an accident happening here. And I kid you not, like a minute or two later, an accident happens, Oh, it was just crazy. So this is a very dangerous corner because it's a tiny little corner and there's a lot of traffic in that corner because Stanley's is a great restaurant. Oh my gosh. They have really good food. So if you're ever in Minneapolis, Northeast, It's their art district, and just they have really good. They have little mom and pop restaurants, all in the mix inside there, and this is kind of one of them, and it's very good. It's very good food. I know what I like there. The grilled cheese. Wait, the brisket grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, so good. And I get tater tots with it. So good. I haven't had that in months. I bet you they have one of those ice signs on the doors. A bunch of that area is doing that shit now. It's just stupid. That makes me not. There's one of my most favorite restaurants I won't even go to anymore because, it's the best chicken sandwich ever in the Twin Cities. And I'm not even going to tell you where it is because they have a ice sign on their door. F them. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I said it. Okay. I don't even care. Okay, so basically, he's like, I'm going to do better. Engen says he's going to do better. Walter, where's your statement? Did Walter Hudson put a statement out? Or is he's probably pissed. He got kind of pinched too. It's a bunch of shit. These guys, they're expected to be perfect and, people just aren't. And, yeah. I don't know, man. You guys, I got issue with it because I'm gonna guess that they're not the only ones that have DUIs. Not that I don't think it's a serious offense, because I do. If you're really messed up, I'm gonna guess he probably wasn't. I'm guessing if they got him right after he left and he just had a couple beers, and then he went and had that. Yeah, no, it'd probably be about that, in the breath. But a couple of beers would do that probably for that amount of time and to get transported. It probably went pretty fast. I'm going to guess. Anyways, okay, so there's that. But let's get to the real meat of the situation here. Now, I made this video to kind of tell you about some of the other stuff that's kind of happening more recently. Here it is. This is part 1. I don't know if we're going to watch the second part of it. Whatever. We'll see. Let's take this down. There I am again. Here you go.
And I also want to point out that when we had that very great discussion in Commerce, that some of the words that my colleagues had said were completely misconstrued, put up online on social media to make a target out of her.
During your opening remarks, and I appreciate this, and I agree with what you're saying, that there is an underlying goal in this bill that I agree with, right? There is something happening in this bill. People don't have to take me at my word because of who I am, because they often don't. But in this committee, I've made it very clear who I am. I put this in the category of some of our liquor bills. I do not want people to have access to things that do harm to them when they are young. And I use this as a precursor because a lot of terrible things are said about me and what I believe and what I want. And I want to support the basic part of this. But above that, I want to talk about some of these bills. You mentioned 25 other states have bills like this, and those bills are not used to do that, right? These bills are very specific. They used to do that, but they're also used to do an entire another category of work. And you mentioned the Paxton case, and the AGs in many states are very clear about that. They're almost jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer. Content that could be educational if they are queer. Content that could be educational if they are queer.
Yeah. That's what he said.
And you're a principal. You have LGBT students in your school. And we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest could
What
be, for many
the
people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids. To transgender kids, that is a problem. And if the law like this, which is pretty clear here that there's a lot of ability to define what is prurient and what lacks value. I want to know directly, like, can we get this bill to a place where we can agree we will not use this against content that is designed for people under 18 to educate them about themselves, their lives, their community? Because you have a list of things in here that I want children not to access. But I know how attorney generals are using data requests to get young people's names who are accessing transgender content. We can say that's not going to happen, but we see it happening. So
oh my God.
we in Minnesota, we protect everyone. And I just want to know from you, from the people who are behind this bill, this is not a weapon to penalize trans kids or LGBT kids once we have a different attorney general in that office.
Representative Bakeberg.
Yeah, thank you,
Sexualizing
Representative Finke,
children.
and thank you
Thank
for
you very much,
for
Senator
wanting to work together,
Representative
100%.
Finke.
Because whether it be in my professional role as a school principal, whether it be as a state representative, my goal, and I think everyone in the room's goal, is to protect kids and to make sure that we're.
All right, I'm sorry, but it is so hard not to be so angry at the conversation that even is being had in a legislative session where a representative is saying the words that any of these guys are saying. You know what? We're going to go on and we're going to listen to the rest of this. You know why? Because you need to know what they're saying in Minnesota about this very thing. Nobody's paying attention to this shit. Nobody's paying attention. You know what else everybody else said? Listen to what everybody else happened to say, you guys. Gets a little interesting here. Hold on. Wait, I'm not sure how much this one.
All kids. Kids are moving through a process of growth and development, and I want to come alongside kids and make sure that we're supporting kids to grow into the person into who they're created to be. So I am deeply committed to doing whatever we can do to make sure, and I think going back to the underlying intent of the bill, the goal of the bill is to protect kids from going to dedicated sites. We have that 33% or that 1/3 threshold to make sure that we're catching the sites that we need to be addressing. So Representative Finke, I would love to work more on this and work together to be able to meet the underlying goal of the bill to protect kids.
Very good.
Yeah, there's no working with
Real quick.
There's
I
no
appreciate
working
that,
with
Representative, and I believe you, right? And I take seriously the idea that we can work together. I think that there are people involved in this who are eager to use it against the communities that they are trying to erase. I'm just going to be honest about that. And if we can figure out a way to do one thing without like a description of an act, right? That's a pretty broad standard for us to make sure that kids can access, especially if you are an LGBTQ kid who will receive 0 sex education in your school. And I mean their school, but I mean specifically your school too, right? We don't teach that. So we need to make sure we're doing something useful and not something explicitly harmful. Thank you.
Representative Hewitt.
By requiring
Chair,
age verification
thank you, Representative Brady,
on
for doing
harmful websites to
a
minors.
good bill on this.
Hello?
I mean, with the
On porn
exceptions that we
sites.
heard here, which I agree with.
Okay, you guys, basically that was it. That was it. This dude. Oh my God. Okay, so that's you. Apparently in 60, did it say 66A? You can't make it up. You really cannot make it up. But they actually said a lot more. I think there's like 15 minutes. I don't even think it's at 14 minutes of some more of that meeting. Let me pull that up somehow. Let me see. I think I can do it this way. Oh, no, because this one wasn't doing that. Did I upload it? Hold on. Let me see if I uploaded the other. I know I didn't. Let me see if I can upload the. Well, maybe I do have it. Hold on. Maybe I did. It says that would be a copy. No, that's not the same one. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll try to okay, export. Let's see if we can give that a little bit of time. Let's take a little break because actually, you know what? Let's go into the next part. This is a kind of a little bit of a segue. We're going to come back to that because that's going to take a minute to upload. So let's go ahead and switch this out. Which one is this? Let me close that. Minimize that. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Let's do this. 2, 2, 1. Okay, so not that one. Not that one. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to start with the first part of this episode of Different Strokes, you guys. You remember that show? Oh, best show ever. It's good. Little Arnold, you know, that kid. Aw, you know, I got so much to say. I loved Arnold. Who didn't love Arnold? He was just always, you know, and who didn't love that guy growing up? And he always felt jilted, though. I felt bad for him. Oh, that poor guy. That poor guy. Anyways, we're going to share this and see. Hopefully you guys, you know, let me get to the beginning of it. Here we go. Let's take a little peek-see at it. All right, here we go, guys.
Hello, I'm Conrad Bain. Tonight on Different Strokes, we're starting a special 2-part show on a very sensitive and important subject. Now, we urge families, children, and parents alike to watch both of these informative episodes and then to discuss the problem presented, which is of deep concern to all of us.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you?
I think I still have this on playback. Oh, I do have it on norm. Oh, okay. I thought it had on one quarter, but okay.
Different strokes it takes.
Yeah,
Different strokes it
I
takes.
love this show.
Different strokes to move the world.
It was different times. It might be. It might be.
Everybody finds a way to shine. No matter that you got.
So I was actually gonna play I gotta wait for this.
Different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does.
Gotta give credit to the credit. You want to make sure you give the credit for this show. I put the link in there, I believe.
Here we go.
If I didn't, I can.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Hey, Mr. Bicycle Man! Hey, Mr. Bicycle Man!
Arnold, the man's name is Mr. Horse.
Right. Hey, Mr. Bicycle Man! You know, Daddy, I just feel wonderful. I love these Sunday afternoon bike rides.
Yep, it's great exercise riding through Central Park, down the lanes, across the little ridges, around the reservoir, and over the winos.
You know, I used to do that with knives till I cut myself out of the act.
Another great entrance, Mr. Horton.
Hey, were you in the circus?
As a matter of fact, I was. They used to bill me as the human cannonball until the ball got too big for the cannon.
Well, we brought your bikes back in good shape, Mr. Horton.
Which is more than I can say for myself. I got knots where I don't even have muscles.
Dad, you're in great shape. I mean, you're lean and thin.
And they can't even see where the thinnest. On top.
Glad you noticed that, Arnold. How much can I pay for the bicycle rental?
Well, let's see. That's 4 bicycles, 2 hours. That's $28.
There you are.
Oh, I just love taking your money this way each week, Mr. D. But I hate to see you blow it on rentals. Why don't you buy bikes for the family?
We discussed it, Mr. Horton, but we decided we don't need our own bikes.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. You may have decided, but nobody checked with the kid whose feet barely touch the pedals.
Forget it, Arnold. Oh, we don't even have a place to store bikes.
Well, not only that, but there are a lot of strange people out there, and I just don't like the idea of you riding in the park all alone.
Well, then give me a bicycle built for 2, and I'll have the chauffeur pedal me.
Drop it, Arnold. We're going to rent bikes.
Dad, it's normal for a kid to get his own bike at my age. Do you want me to grow up with a twisted mind and a warped personality?
Too late. You already got them.
You know, I don't want to be in the middle, Mr. Drummond, but this would be a great time to buy a bicycle. And I can make you a terrific deal on this little red one right here. In fact, it's 1/3 off. Do you like this one, Arnold?
Wow. Man, do I? Dad, look at this.
Yeah, that's a beauty, all right.
Dad, I'd really be safe on it. I'd wear a red hat, red sweater, red socks. If I blink my eyes, people will think I'm a stoplight. What do you say, Dad?
Well, I don't know, Arnold. I've got mixed emotions about this.
Oh, Dad, please, give me a bike, please, please. Don't just stand there. Help me grovel.
Well, Daddy, I guess he could keep his bike downstairs in the garage.
Yeah, Dad, and there's plenty of safe places to ride in the park. And as far as strange people go, I mean, they're everywhere. We've got one living in our apartment.
Dad, I'd really be careful on it. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm going to be 12 next month. In just 13 years, I can run for Congress.
And it's 1/3 off.
I definitely think you should have a bicycle before you leave for Washington. Okay, Arnold, you can have it for your birthday.
Oh, thank you, Dad. Oh, thanks, Mr. Horton.
I got a terrific idea, Arnold. You know, I got to get the word out on this special sale I'm having. And I thought if you could pass these flyers out for me next week at school, I'd give you this handlebar radio for your bicycle.
Give? As in hand over, no strings? Compliments of the house?
You got it. That is, if it's all right with your dad.
Oh, it's fine with me. I think you're very generous, Mr. Horton.
Oh, he's doing me a favor, too, you know. What's the old saying? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
You keep coming up with these presents, you can scratch me all over. Hear ye, hear ye. Buy a bicycle and help Arnold Jackson get a free radio. Here's your chance to help your class president put a little music in his life. Hey, how about helping a deserving boy get something for nothing? Take it off, punch your lights out. Just kidding. How you doing, Arnold? Terrible. I'll never get that free radio for my bike. That's because you're using the wrong approach. I used every approach I can think of except the cattle prod. Let me show you what I mean. Hey, everybody, listen up. Come here. Come here. I'm going to do you a big favor. Now, Mr. Horton is having a terrific sale over at the bicycle shop. Now, you can have a bicycle that's fancier and better than the one your best friend has. This is your chance to stick his nose in it. Don't get shut out. The sale won't last long. The bikes are so cheap, you can really make your parents feel guilty. Okay, give this out to all your friends. Okay. There. See what I mean? You got to appeal to a kid's natural born greed. Damn, Dudley. When it comes to sneaking, you're the greatest. You're right up there with the politicians. Thank you. I do my best. Look, I'll pay you back for this someday. I know how you can pay me back right now. And I hadn't counted on doing it so soon. Just ask Mr. Horton if I can pass out flyers. I'd like a free radio for my bike, too. You wouldn't want to cut it on my deal, would you? Absolutely.
Better not tell your folks I gave you all that candy. As a matter of fact, why don't you just make it our little secret that you was even here? Huh? Attaboy.
Hi, Mr. Horton.
Hi, Arnold.
Well, I gave out all the flyers just like you said, and I'm back for another load.
That is great, Arnold. You're sure some terrific passer-outer.
I have a way with words when I put my mouth to it.
That's great, Arnold. I can see it now. Hundreds of kids stampeding into my shop. They're buying everything in sight. They're buying the bicycles. They're buying the posters. They can't stop buying. Now they're buying my clothes. They're buying my socks. They're buying my shirt. They're buying my pants.
You better buy a barrel before they buy your underwear.
You know, this calls for a celebration. What's your favorite ice cream? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry?
Yeah, them.
This sounds like a job for Captain Banana Split.
That's my kind of captain. Let's split.
Follow me.
Hey, this is like a house.
Sure. I live here.
Boy, you sure got a lot of great games and stuff.
Oh, you like games?
Yeah, that's what I live for next to food. Oh, I almost forgot. I have this friend named Dudley in my class who'd like to earn a free radio, too.
Oh, really? Is he as good a salesman as you are?
I guarantee it. I taught him everything he knows.
Well, it sounds like it might work out. He's as good a guy as you are, but why don't you bring him on in here? We'll talk it over. You like the bananas, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, listen, we'll make this a three-dipper job here.
Yeah.
Chocolate sauce, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. I bet you're a whipped cream man, too.
Yeah.
Huh? All right, we'll pile that whipped cream up there. Boy, look at that. And I just know you're not going to be satisfied until you've got a cherry right on top there, huh?
Yeah.
Arnold, this is the tallest, the sweetest, the gooeyest, the stickiest, the most disgusting banana split I think I've ever made.
I think I'm going to cry.
You better eat it before it melts.
Oh, don't worry. The way I eat it, it won't have a chance to melt. My tongue's faster than a hummingbird's wings.
The hummingbird's wings. All right, have a spoon.
All right.
You know, Arnold, I've been thinking about that bicycle of yours.
Me too.
Oh, just seems a shame that you have to wait until your birthday to enjoy it. Maybe you and I could figure out a way you could have it before your birthday.
How? My dad won't get it for me until then.
Well, no, but if he's going to, maybe you could slip by after school and I could let you ride it.
Oh, wow, Mr. Horton, what a terrific thing to do. You sure understand kids. And you sure know how to pig out. I really like you.
I like you too, Arnold. You know, there's just one thing, though. Maybe we better not let your dad know about the bike.
Why not? I tell Dad everything.
Oh, well, that's great. I mean, that's exactly what you should do. But in this case, it just might spoil his fun. See, if he found out that you had it before he had a chance to give it to you. Not to mention that I could get in trouble, too, you know, for letting you have it.
Oh, I never thought of that. I wouldn't want to get you in trouble.
In fact, maybe it would be best if you didn't even mention, you know, that you came back here and that I gave you all this ice cream before dinner. Why don't we just make it our little secret, huh?
You know something, Mr. Horton? You're sneaky.
Sneaky.
Yeah, I'm getting a whole new respect for sneaky.
You know something, Arnold? I really like you. I really like you. You and I are going to have a lot of good times together.
Look, all I asked for was a lube job and an oil change for my car, and I got a bill for $112. And 103 of it is just for labor. Who did you have working on my car, Lee Iacocca? Well, you're not going to get any more of my business. If I want to get robbed, I'll take a ride on the subway. You too, Charlie. Hi, Arnold.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, that's a pretty good hug.
That's a pretty good bike you got me.
Listen, aren't you a little late getting home this afternoon?
Oh, I was at Dudley's.
Dudley's, but he called to say he was coming over here.
Oh, that's probably why he wasn't home when I got there.
Well, where have you been? I mean, do you know that it's almost time for dinner?
Well, I was just strolling down the avenue and found my way to the pet shop, and I was going to come home, but there was a lonesome parrot there to talk me out of it.
Next time, I think you should give him an argument.
Hey, where you been, Arnold? Man, you missed your after-school snack in here before dinner stomach started.
That's okay. I'm not hungry.
You not hungry? What did you do at the pet shop? Load up on kibble?
I'm just trying to cut down. Either I'm gaining weight or the laundry's shrinking my shorts.
Don't give us that, Arnold. I bet you stopped off at that stand on the way home and had a few hot pretzels.
Pretzels?
Pretzels.
Oh, those.
So that's what you did, Arnold.
Yeah, nah, I guess you got me.
I'll get that.
See you guys later.
Hi, Mrs. Drummond.
Hi, Dudley, come on in. How's it going, my man?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Good, keep hanging.
Hi, Arnold. Did you actually...
Oh, I'll get out of your way. I know you guys got some heavy talking to do.
What did you shush me for? I didn't want Dad to know that I was down at the bicycle shop today. Why not? Because Mr. Horton and I loaded up on banana splits. I had bananas coming out of my ears.
He sounds like he's as big a greedy gut as you, Arnold.
Yeah, but he sure knows how to treat a kid. He's got this back room with toys and trains and video games. Yeah. I mean, it's like he just died and went to that big Disneyland in the sky.
Well, did you talk to him about me?
Yeah, he didn't want to go for it at first, but I gave him my hard sell.
Oh, man, you're a real pal, Arnold. I owe you a lot.
And don't ever forget it. Come on, man, let's go to my room.
Let's see.
What a drag. Man, if it wasn't raining outside, I could be riding my new bike.
It sure is a beauty.
Great day for ducks, Arnold.
Yeah, quack, quack. I'm gonna ride my new bicycle today.
Oh, forget about the rain. Because you're my sunshine, my only sunshine. Hey, you make me happy when skies are gray. You know, I started out to be a great singing star, and I had a little bad luck. Some people heard me sing.
Oh, this is my friend Dudley that I was telling you about.
Well, hi, Dudley.
Hi, Mr. Horton.
Listen, my friend Arnold here tells me that you want to help pass out my flyers.
Will I get a radio, too?
Well, if you can pass out those flyers like Arnold does, I don't see why you shouldn't. He tells me he taught you everything he knows.
Oh, he did? Well, not everything.
Ooh, you smell that?
No.
No.
No, nothing. I smell it. I bet it's pizza.
Hey, you got a great smeller, fella.
Yeah, now I smell it, too.
Well, let's don't just stand here, man. Let's track it down.
Ah, it's that way. They don't call me old pizza nose for nothing.
Nose will go where the nose goes because the nose knows. And where the nose Oh. Tell you guys, that pizza's in the oven. Now, I got some new comic books here, so look them over. Maybe we can play a little video game later on. Say, fellas, why don't you just make yourselves at home, huh? Because I got a couple of things to check yet out front.
Okay.
All right.
Boy, this place is something else. Yeah, it sure is. You know what I like about Mr. Horton? He's just an all-around great guy. Yeah, you'd never know he was a grown-up. Yeah, and he sure has a lot of comic books. Yeah.
You think we should look at this one?
Of course. The ladies are naked. Except for the leather boots. Holy smoke! Speaking of smoke, there's something coming out of your ears. Boy, they ought to give you a diagram with these things. Say, look at this. Cuties of the circus. Hey, this guy must be afraid of that girl. He's holding her off with a whipping chair. Hey, look at that circus girl. Now I know why they call it the big top.
Okay, guys, let's see how our pizza's going over.
Hi.
What's going on here, fella?
Oh, nothing much, is it, Dudley? Hardly anything at all. We were just sitting here, waiting for the pizza to pizza.
I think I see what's going on here. Oh, you guys were looking at this, huh?
No, we weren't. Well, Arnold was. You were the one with the dangling eyeballs.
Guys, there's nothing to feel guilty about. It's okay. There is nothing wrong with looking at ladies.
Even when there's that much lady to look at?
There's nothing wrong with being naked, especially if there's nothing to be ashamed of. Haven't your folks ever taken you to a museum? You know, most of the famous statues are naked.
Yeah, but at least they had fig leaves. The one in the
Here we
magazine
go.
didn't even have a piece of parsley.
The point is, Arnold, that there's a good reason for looking at the human body and admiring it. It's a work of art. It's a magnificent thing.
That one in the magazine sure was.
Now, you see, Dudley understands. Here, fellas, here's a little pepperoni pizza. Now, this is hot stuff, too. You know, guys, you can just have an awful lot of fun with your clothes off. Unless, of course, you live at the North Pole and they're going to freeze your tush off.
What kind of fun?
Well, for instance, there's skinny dipping. Either you guys ever go skinny dipping?
Nah, I never done that. Me neither. Unless you want to count the time when the fire hydrant blew my pants off. Is skinny dipping fun?
Fun? Listen, guys, if you have not gone skinny dipping, you have missed one of the great joys in this life. I think I got some pictures around here of a bunch of us skinny dipping. You guys are going to love them. Let's see if I can find them. Here they are right here. Here we are down at the old water hole.
Hey, you don't have any clothes on either.
You don't think I'm going to let them kids have all the fun, do you? Look, everybody's laughing and horsing around, having a good time. We had a great old time that day.
Looks like fun to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'd like the idea of running around and everybody staring at my bare butt. It lacks a certain dignity.
Well, if you ask me, there are too many uptight, dignified people in the world today anyway. It's time we all let our hair down a little bit.
In that case, you let everything down.
You know, that pizza would taste a whole lot better with a glass of wine. You guys care for a sip?
No, thanks. We're too young.
Too young? Huh? Do you realize that in France, everybody drinks wine, including kids much younger than you?
Yeah, Arnold, don't you know anything?
I'll bet Dudley there takes a sip every now and then, huh?
Me? Yeah, right. As a matter of fact, my dad lets me have a little sip on special occasions.
Well, guys, this is a special occasion. We're in the bicycle business together. So let's celebrate. Huh?
Sure, I have some.
Yeah.
Come on, Arnold. Don't act like a premature kid. Okay, I'll have just a sip. I hate to see my friends drink alone.
Ah, no, that's good. All right, gentlemen. To our new partnership.
Down the hatch.
Down the hatch.
Ooh. That stuff really burns your hatch.
It certainly warms your tummy on a cold, rainy day like today, huh? You know, we ought to be playing some games. I know a neat game with the camera. You guys like to take pictures?
Yeah, we love it.
See if I got my here's my trusty camera right here. Okay, here we go.
What kind of picture should we take?
Well, I got a great idea. Let's play Tarzan. I think you would make a terrific Tarzan, Dudley.
Ain't no way I'm gonna play Jane.
All right, we'll make you the fearless leader of the safari. Here you go.
Hey, all right. Just call me Bowana.
Okay, Moana. Why don't you stand over there in front of that man-eating plant there, huh?
All right.
And you pretend that Dudley here is saving you from it. You can do that, can't you, Arnold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stay right there. Now pretend like it's got you in its clutches. Let's make this more authentic. Tarzan never had a shirt on, Dudley. Dudley, take your shirt off.
Okay.
Let me help you with that, man. Aha. Oh, that's nice. Aha. Oh, boy. He's got a great physique, huh?
I think he's built more like a pipe cleaner than Tarzan.
Okay, now, tell you what, let's show those muscles, Dudley. That's good. Fine. Now we're going to take some pictures, and we're going to have another little sip of wine, and we're going to take some more pictures. And so strike a pose for me there. Yeah, let's see what you did. Oh, hey, that's great, guys. Guys, we're just going to have a great time together this afternoon. Huh? All right, let's see those poses some more. That's the way to go.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one.
Okay, guys.
Right for you. May not be
So,
right song.
there's another half of it. Get my yeah. So you guys, this I came across this, and I was like, I wanted to just kind of give you a little comparison about how Representative Finke wants to make sure that queer porn is available to
Hello, I'm Conrad.
children. Oh, wait.
Tonight on Different Strokes.
We're going to watch the rest of this here in a minute. But we're not going to watch the rest of that right now. We're going to watch the rest of the
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today in Judiciary, we voted unanimously for a bill that Rep. Hansen had on nudification. And we heard from two victims of that terrible crime.
Just listen.
And I want us to all think about the victims of pornography, the objectified women and children that are in this smutty, dark online world, and how that victimizes them. And I wanted to just capture, and I also want to say that it victimizes the viewer of the pornography, because it gives the viewer an unrealistic picture of reality. 93% of boys and 62% of girls are exposed to internet pornography before the age of 18. 70% of boys have spent at least 30 consecutive minutes looking at online porn on at least one occasion. 35% of boys have done this on at least 10 occasions. 83% of boys have seen group sex on the internet. 67% of children admit to clearing their internet history to hide their online activity. 79% of accidental exposure to internet porn among kids takes place in the home. And by the way, I've seen some stats that can occur pretty regularly by the age of 8. 56% of divorce cases involve one party having an obsessive interest in online porn, 56%. 12% of websites on the internet are pornographic, approximately 25 million websites. Two of the top 100 websites on the internet are porn sites. 40 million Americans regularly visit pornographic websites. 2.5 billion emails per day are pornographic. 25% of search engine requests each day are pornography related, approximately 70 million per day. Only 3% of porn.
We are Sodom and Gomorrah, you perverts! You guys are perverts, okay? Stop it with the porn, okay? This is disgusting. Stop it. God. No wonder God talks about this over and over and over and over again in the Bible. God talks about this stuff over and over again in the Bible about how we fall away from him and how we forget him and how we just go on to live these kinds of lives that are sexually immoral. And we just do what we want. We live for ourselves and we don't live for the Lord anymore. And generation after generation does it. And so she's just telling you guys too. I mean, this is statistics. I love it.
Pornographic websites require age verification.
Yeah.
Only 3%. 10% of pornography users report being addicted. I think the number's much higher. That's the only ones that reported. The average age a child first sees internet pornography on this site, at least, it says 11.
Scott, by the
and
way.
70% of young men ages 18 to 24 visit pornographic websites on at least a monthly basis. And we haven't got into the brain science of what it does to teenage brains. Members, this should be an easy vote for all of us. Online pornography is too easily accessible to our kids. We need this bill to verify age. You know what's happened in places, other states that have passed this law? The online porn websites get up and leave.
Chucks.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that many of you have been affected by pornography addiction by someone that you know in your life. And that should not be our kids. We should be protecting them from a young age. Again, pornography objectifies women and children. Some of these sites are very violent. Not a good thing for anyone to be watching, let alone a child. Please vote yes on this bill. Please, I'm begging you to vote yes to protect the kids of the state of Minnesota from this easily accessible online harm.
I recognize the member from Olmsted, Representative Liebling.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you, members. Well, I'm not terribly familiar with this bill. The difference in the Judiciary Committee, we have heard a number of bills on this same kind of thing. As Chair Scott just mentioned, we heard the nudification bill. That's Representative Jess Hansen's bill. We just heard that today, passed it unanimously. Heard the testimony, looked at it for the data issues in it. And the problem that I see here is I don't think this bill has gone to Judiciary. Could the author yield? I've forgotten who the author is, actually. Oh.
Are you asking for Representative Bakeberg to yield to a question?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Representative Bakeberg will yield. Representative Liebling.
Thank you. Representative Bakeberg, did this bill go to Judiciary? And are you Well, let me just ask you, has it gone to judiciary?
Representative Bakeberg.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. The bill currently is sitting in Commerce. That's why we have an urgency to bring this to the floor now. And frankly, it's stuck in Commerce because we heard it earlier in session, and then on March 11th, I emailed all of the members of the Commerce Committee and all of my DFL colleagues that had expressed interest. Just as a reminder, this bill is bipartisan in the House, House File 1434, and it's bipartisan in the Senate as well. So I emailed all of the DFL colleagues that spoke during the Commerce hearing, and I also emailed those members that had expressed interest over the interim and then during session. And I heard back from Chair Cagle, and she said that she wasn't comfortable moving the bill out. So she had some concerns, and that's why I reached out to all of my DFL colleagues to try to have a conversation to get this important bill moving. Because I think we can all agree that having access to pornography for kids is not okay. There are about 26 states that have already passed some form of age verification. And as I talked about in the beginning, we intentionally waited until hearing the Supreme Court ruling. That came out in June, and this was one of the first bills that we heard from the GOP side in Commerce because this is an important issue. I see it all the time in my principal role where kids are struggling, and oftentimes it leads back to pornography that they're struggling with. So this is an important bill to keep kids safe.
Representative Liebling.
Well, thank you for kind of not answering the question, but your answer is no, it didn't go to judiciary. And no one here is saying it isn't an important issue. In fact, as Chair Scott just said, we heard about this today in judiciary. We were, frankly, all of us kind of felt like probably throwing up when we heard some of the stuff that's happening to people because of this notification technology that Representative Hansen's been working on. So we all have a lot of interest in this topic, but we also have rules. And quite frankly, Representative Bakeberg, I'm not asking you to yield, so you can sit down. I'm not going to ask you to yield again, especially since you didn't answer my question. But so in this body, we actually are here for a reason. Every Democrat is not the same as every other Democrat. The fact that some people were for something doesn't mean all of us are. Especially, I would dare say, in this current environment where we have this tie, it's kind of having people think a little bit independently sometimes, which I'm kind of enjoying. And we still have a committee process, and the committee process is there for a reason. And in fact, under the rules of this body, there are some mandatory referrals to judiciary. So notwithstanding that this is an important bill, as you say, and I, of course, am not really familiar with it, not having heard it in committee, you could be making a motion to move it to judiciary. Now, you might say, oh, but we have the deadline. The deadline, you know, the deadline only stops a bill if people don't agree with it. If people want it to happen, it can come back through the Rules Committee after having had the proper vetting in the committees where it needs to go. So I can only think that this is more of a stunt and not a serious effort when I see you trying to move it to the floor, skipping the mandatory referral to judiciary. And we've been hearing a lot of bills like this, but there are serious issues that I see just in the language. You know, we've talked about, you know, how do you age verify? What happens? Who has to, what information do you have to submit to be age verified? How does all this work? What do they do with your data? Even location data is an issue. A lot of folks don't like to let everybody in the world know where they are every minute. I know I don't. So I think there are issues here. Not saying it isn't a serious underlying concern. Of course, we all share that concern. But I think the effort here today, if you were moving it to judiciary, I might vote with you. But you're not. You're trying to move it to the floor, skipping the jurisdiction of judiciary, and so I have to vote no on the bill. Thank you.
I recognize the member from Baker, Representative Gilman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, so much, Representative Bakeberg, for bringing this forward. House File 1434, again, simply is bringing age verification. It's another way that we can say that we love Minnesota kids. We want to help them, protect them, and ensure that they are going to have a safety net. I'm going to tell you a story about a good friend of mine. And it actually, it's quite emotional. She was 5 years old. Her and her sister were in a new situation, found themselves in a new situation with a divorced parents. So they had a new babysitter that was a family friend that they trusted. He exposed that little 5-year-old and 3.5-year-old to pornography. Images that those little girls had never seen in their lives. And the fear and shame that came with that, she still has brought up here she's in her 50s now, but she can still see those images in her brain. And what that did for her is allowed an open door, a way that somebody was able to manipulate and use her. We know this happening, all around the nation, around the globe, is that kids are being exploited online. And we are hearing many bills about exploitation. We have grave concerns around cameras being in certain places that are watching our children in daycare because we're concerned about their images of their faces being used in other areas of pornography. These bills we're hearing in committees. Why would we not have a sense of urgency to find an upstream measure, a simple measure to put in place to protect minors, to protect those most vulnerable, to talk to my friend and her little sister and know what's gone on in their lives based on what they saw as little kids has had unintended consequences. So again, I just would ask that the body would be using common sense here today and we would vote green on this. Thank you.
I recognize a member from Dakota, Representative Hanson J.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. I don't need to be convinced about the issue. I think we are all on the same page on that, and I just want to be clear about that piece to start with. But what I do want to talk about right now is that what the work that we do here matters a lot, and how we do it matters a whole lot too. And so I will keep my comments short here, but I just over and over and over this session, I've run into situations where people will make these really meaningful propositions about why we should do something, and I don't hear a lot of people disagreeing with doing something. What I do see people disagreeing with is how we go about it, and I know that's the boring part of the legislature, and we don't really always like to talk about process and all of that, but process matters, especially when we're talking about things like this and many other things. And so I just really want to make sure that as we talk about this, we look at what's being said. I think we've heard that we want folks to do the work. That's what.
Anyways, so that I think that's the end of that. It goes on. They didn't pass that. I don't believe it was just it's going to more committees, I believe. But don't quote me on that. I didn't finish following up with that because there's so many meetings, you guys. Oh, there's so much. I can't even. The new thing, you guys, is this Minneapolis wants to possibly impose a city income tax. Ha! So if you work in Minneapolis, you have to pay an extra income tax? How about FU? How about FU Minneapolis? I wonder, oh my God. They can't do that. I mean, they could, but I would, that's just ridiculous. Their city council likes to spend money they don't have. They want to just give away money to everybody. They think that the state of Minnesota is their own personal piggy bank. It's really weird. It's very frustrating. And so, what do you do? Anyways, let's watch the other half of our Different Strokes series. It was a two-parter. And here's what's that guy's name? Conrad. I forget his last name. Anyways, here we go. Let's check this out here. There you go. Here you go.
Hello, I'm Conrad Bain. Tonight on Different Strokes, we're showing the concluding half of a special two-part show on a very sensitive and important subject. We urge families, children and parents alike, to watch this informative episode and then discuss the problem presented, which is of deep concern to all of us. Thank you.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
Enjoy it. We're gonna watch this, and honestly, do talk to you if you have small children. This is stuff that you need to talk to your kids. I mean, I talk to my kids, and they're little, and that's why you can't sleep over other people's houses. That is why you cannot sleep over other people's houses. Because I don't know them. No, my parents never let me sleep over other people's houses. Nope. You don't get to sleep. You got your own bed. Stuff like that, you know.
And together we'll be fine, 'cause it takes different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different strokes to move the world.
Read all about the big sale at Horton's Bicycle Shop. Don't get shut out.
Last week on Different Strokes, Arnold and his pal Dudley were trying to earn radios for their bicycles by passing out handbills for Mr. Horton's bike store. Later that day, Mr. Horton invited the boys into his back room to have some pizza and to play games. And he gave them a little wine to drink. Then he showed them some photos of himself swimming naked with some young boys, and he cautioned them not to say anything to their parents. After that, he had Dudley take off his shirt so they could play Tarzan and take some pictures. And he said he had some even better ideas for later on. And now we continue with part 2.
You know, what we need is a Tarzan yell from you, Dudley. You know, pounding on the chest.
He sounds like a dying water buffalo.
You know, what would really be terrific would be for Tarzan to have a lion to wrestle. Huh?
Mr. Horton, that's a great idea. I don't think this Tarzan could wrestle a grasshopper.
Hey, I got a great idea. Why don't I be the lion? And you take the pictures, Arnold, okay?
Okay by me?
You know how to operate that thing, Arnold?
Oh, yeah, sure. We have one of these at home, only more expensive.
I guess I'm the first semi-bald king of the jungle. All right, why don't you hop on my back there? And I'll pretend like I'm going to try and throw you there. I'm sorry I don't have a tail for you to hang on to.
That's okay. You can just wag you behind.
Okay, here we go. The old roar. That's a lot of fun, isn't it, Dudley?
Yeah.
Say, man, we're going to have to protect ourselves here in the jungle. I mean, we don't want to be bitten by the terrible tsetse fly now, do we, huh? Maybe we should have a little more wine.
No, thanks. I'd rather get bitten on the tsetse.
Well, I know my friend Dudley's not going to let me down. Huh?
Sure, I'll have some more. You gonna be a chicken, Arnold? Well, okay. I'll have just one sip.
There you go, Arnold. Okay, fellas, here we go, huh? What do they say? School.
Bottoms up. L'chaim. Oh, I learned that from a Jewish kid in school. Only he does it with low-fat milk. That's enough for me.
Oh, come on, Arnold. Listen, don't worry about too much wine. I mean, I'm not going to let you have too much wine because your folks may smell it on your breath. Oh, they might get mad at me.
Uh-oh. If Dad smelled it on my breath, I won't get that bicycle for my birthday. I won't live that long.
Guys, don't worry about it, will you? I got plenty of gum and breath mints back here, and you guys can have all you like. Huh? Hey, listen, what game we going to play now? Oh, I got it. Trampoline.
You got a trampoline here?
Well, no, but, we can jump up and down on the bed.
Gee, Mr. Horton, you sure got some great ideas.
Wait a minute, guys. Now, just stop calling me Mr. Horton, huh? Well, why don't you call me by my nickname? Curly. I'll call you Bo, and you'll be Larry. We'll pretend like we're the new improved version of the Three Stooges, huh? Whoop, boo! Whoop, boo! Hey, what an act we got.
Hey, Curly, I think you got a customer.
Don't worry about it, guys. I'll get rid of him right now. But listen, guys, maybe we ought to hold it down, keep it real quiet, huh?
Hi there, Mr. Horton.
Well, hello, Mr. Drummond. What brings you out on a day like this?
Well, I was just going by this way, and I thought I'd stop in and square up with you on that bicycle I'm getting for Arnold. Would you take your credit card?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I left home without it. Would you take this other card?
Sure, you bet. There we go. Now, if you don't mind, you sign that for me. I'll fill it out later. And I don't want to hold you up, you know.
Oh, no, you're not holding me up. Go ahead, fill it out. Oh, Arnold's really going to enjoy this bike, huh?
If you'll just sign here for me.
I remember when I got my first bike. My little face beamed. I jumped up and down with joy. I was the proudest kid in college.
Could you just sign right here, please?
I was supposed to be a little joke, but I didn't think it was that little.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not with it today, I guess. Would you sign it there, please?
You know, I really am very grateful to you for letting Arnold earn that radio for his bicycle. I think it's very important for kids to learn the value of working for something that you want.
Oh, yeah, right. Right there.
Holy cow! It's my dad and me. You smell it like a blue nun. You're in big trouble, Arnold. So you're in this up to your naked armpits. Yeah. We gotta get out of here. The back door. Come on, I'm trying. Let's go.
And then when I was 11, I had a paper route. I guess I was luckier than most kids. The chauffeur drove me around the route in a limousine.
Boy, that's really rough, isn't it?
Am I keeping you from something? You seem to be a little distracted.
Oh, me? Oh, no. I was just, closing up. But I've got a pizza in the oven.
Oh, well, then I'll go and leave you to the heartbreak of heartburn.
Listen, thanks for coming by, and give my best to the family.
Okay, thanks. See you again.
Oh, boy.
Okay, fellas, I got rid of the... Arnold! Dudley! Arnold!
What? I said, don't ever sneak up behind me like that. Kids can have heart attacks too, you know.
We weren't sneaking up. And what are you doing chewing a big wad of gum like that?
I have a big mouth. We already know that. What kind of gum is that? Spearmint Muscatel?
Yeah, I smell it too, Arnold. You got booze on your breath.
It's only wine. What do you mean, only wine? What do you do in drinking any kind of alcohol? Dudley's dad let us have a couple of sips because it was a special occasion.
What special occasion?
Dudley's hamster had little hamlets.
Arnold, are you jiving us?
Well, of course not. Besides, what's the big deal? Everybody drinks wine in France. You're not in France.
And if Dad finds out that you've been drinking, you're going to wish you were in Siberia.
You don't have to tell him. I mean, why give him something to worry about? It's not like he's going to find me sleeping in the gutter with a red nose and a 3-day growth of beard. Look, I promise I'm through with wine forever. Or until I get to France.
You swear?
I swear.
On your ET alarm clock?
So help me, Steven Spielberg.
Okay, then we won't say anything.
Thanks.
And get rid of that water gun, man. You look like a chipmunk storing nuts for the winter.
Okay.
Well, why don't you gargle with something to get rid of that wine on your breath? Why don't you try Listerine on the rocks?
Hi, kids.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Arnold. Where you going? Wait a minute. I haven't hugged my kid today.
Dad, I'm getting too old for that mush.
I'm not, and I'm almost twice your age.
Maybe it's just a macho stage I'm going through. Would you settle for a handshake?
Well, that's better than nothing.
Nice to see you home from work, Dad.
Thanks. Maybe after dinner we'll have cigars and brandy in the study. What's going on with Arnold? He's acting very strange lately.
I didn't notice anything.
Me neither.
Well, maybe he's going through mid-puberty crisis. Matter of fact, I'm not over mine yet.
Ho, ho, ho. Here they are, folks. The stupendous, the incredible, the mysterious, disappearing Bicycle Brothers. I mean, now you see them, and now you don't. What happened to you guys yesterday, huh?
Sorry we had to leave without saying goodbye, Curly.
Uh-huh.
We looked out the peephole and saw it was my dad. What do you want?
We just wanted to pay for the bike he got you. He doesn't even suspect that you were here.
You know, I feel funny about all this sneaking around.
Arnold, it's not sneaking around. We're just simply trying to keep me out of trouble for giving you guys all these little treats after school.
Yeah, that's right, Arnold. But maybe we could get in trouble, too. Maybe we shouldn't stay.
What? Do my ears deceive me? Not stay? After I have gone out and gotten an armload of cartoons for you guys to watch this afternoon on television?
Boy, I'd sure like to see some cartoons. Come on, Arnold. I don't know.
Oh, that's all right, Dudley. That just means that there's more Boston cream pie for you and me.
Boston cream pie? Like with 3 layers and whipped cream and gooey chocolate on top?
That's it.
I guess I could always eat and run.
That's my man, huh? All right, fellas, and away we go.
Woo! All right.
Follow me. You're ready, Roo. Listen, you know those pictures we took yesterday? I got those back. They're right there on the table.
Hey, Curly, these are terrific. And you said I didn't have muscles, Arnold. Look at me. I'm bulging out like I'm in 3D. Your muscles are in 3D, all right. Drooping, dragging, and disgusting.
Okay, guys, here it is. It's a showtime and a pie time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Curly's Cartoon Cavalcade. Oh, and away we go.
Man, I love cartoons. Me too.
I bet you guys haven't seen Murphy the Mouse.
No. No. It's cute. Check him out. Hey, that mouse just lost his pants. And he's not wearing any undershorts. Look at that girl mouse. She's wearing a bikini. Not anymore. Really? I've never seen a cartoon like this before. Me neither. Look what we've been missing. Dolly, this is an X-rated cartoon. It's dirty. Yeah, I know.
Arnold, it's not dirty. It's adult. And we are all adults, aren't we?
We only look adult because we worry a lot. Let's go. Oh, wait, I want to see how that mouse makes out. I don't like this cartoon, but I have nothing against this pie. Come on, Arnold, stick around.
No, Dudley, look, if Arnold wants to go, then that's what he should do.
I'm warning you, Dudley. If the Mouseketeers hear about this, you'll have to turn in your ears.
Listen, Dudley, don't worry about Arnold. We can have a lot more fun without him. Hmm? After the cartoon's over, we'll play Neptune, King of the Sea.
How do you play that?
Oh, well, it takes a lot of water, but bathtub, rub a shower. Oh, it's a great game. You're going to love it.
Somebody's at the door, Kimberly. Will you get that?
Hair in this.
Don't anybody move. I'll get it. I'm not doing anything important. I'm just revising my will. I'm cutting both of you out of it.
Good afternoon, Phil. How are you?
Hi, Ted. Come on in. What a nice surprise.
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. How you doing?
How you doing? Look, forgive me for barging in on you like this, but I thought it was something we should discuss in person. It's about my son.
Well, come on, sit down. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
No, nothing, thanks.
So, you have a problem with Dudley?
Yeah, I feel a little awkward about this, but I'd really appreciate it if you didn't let him have any more wine when he's over here.
Wine? Where in the world did you get the idea that I gave Dudley wine?
Well, yesterday, he came home with wine on his breath and he said that you gave it to him.
Well, I can assure you I didn't, and I can't imagine what would make him say that I did.
Kimberly, I think we better tell Dad what we know.
I know. I hate to be a snitch, but I think you're right, Willis.
Tell me what, Willis?
Well, yesterday, Arnold came home with wine on his breath, and he said Mr. Ramsey gave it to him.
Me?
Now, why didn't you two tell me that before?
Oh, Daddy, Arnold looks so guilty, and he promised he'd never do it again, so we let it go.
Well, I assure you, Phil, I never give wine to Arnold.
Well, obviously, Arnold and Dudley are experimenting with alcohol. I don't like that.
Well, neither do I. They're still babies.
Well, it looks like the babies have gone from the nipple straight to the ripple.
Well, I'm glad I came over. Dudley and I are going to have a little heart-to-heart talk.
Arnold and I may have a little hand-to-butt talk.
Hello, Arnold.
Oh, hi, Mr. Ramsey.
Well, I'll be going, Phil.
Thanks for dropping by.
Okay, good.
We'll be in touch.
Good enough. Bye, kids.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Ramsey.
Dad, what was Dudley's father doing here?
Well, he came to discuss something that I found quite informative.
Oh, what's that?
You and Dudley hitting the bottle.
What you talking about, Dad?
Since when did you and Dudley become the Booze Brothers? Now, don't try to deny that you've been drinking. Put it down right over here. I want the whole story from beginning to end. Where did you get the wine?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell.
Arnold?
Mr. Horton.
Mr. Horton?
The man in the bicycle shop.
What's he got to do with this? Well, while I was there with Dudley, he gave us some pizza and wine.
What else went on there?
He showed us some pictures. Everybody was naked.
Naked?
And he showed us some kinky cartoons.
What do you mean by kinky?
Well, you told me about the birds and the bees, but that's nothing compared to what those mice were doing.
I think I'd better have a talk with our Mr. Horton.
Dad, you don't think...
Yes, I sure do.
Is there something wrong, Dad? Maybe we should go get Dudley. He's still down there. At the bicycle shop?
Oh, my God.
Dad, I'm going with you.
Now, wait a second. Maybe we should call the police first.
The police?
And I'm going to leave a message with Dudley's father.
Oh, look, I'm sorry, Mr. Drummond. I'm just about to close up here. I've had a little problem.
Is this Horton? Yes, it is.
I think you've got a big problem, Mr. Horton.
Now, where's Dudley? Arnold told us that he was here.
Look, I don't understand. Was this some kind of joke, Mr. Drummond?
Stay with him.
Wait a minute, man. You can't go back there.
Dudley? Dudley, where are you? Maybe he's in here.
Mr. Drummond, it might be better if I looked in there first.
Dudley, are you okay?
Oh, Mr. Drummond, I'm glad to see you. Boy, I sure feel goofy.
Did Mr. Horton give you anything, Dudley?
A pill. He said it'd make me feel good.
Dudley? Are you all right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm kind of scared.
Dudley, I want you to tell me exactly what happened before we came in.
Do I have to?
Go ahead. It's all right.
Now, Dudley, you can tell everything to Detective Simpson because he's here to help us.
Well, at first, Dad, I was having a lot of fun. Then Mr. Horton, he tried to touch me.
It's not your fault, son. And I don't blame you. And I'm not going to punish you. I love you. Do you understand?
Well, I thank goodness you got to Dudley before anything really terrible happened to him. How's he doing?
Well, he's still a little shaken up.
Well, he's a lucky boy. He'll come out of this just fine. He's got parents who are loving and understanding. You know, some parents actually blame the children for what happened.
That is dreadful. That is the worst thing you could do.
What's going to happen to Mr. Horton?
Well, I think we got a darn good case against him, Willis. Thanks to your father calling us, we were able to surprise him, and we found some very incriminating pictures.
Worse than the mice?
Much worse.
What is this world coming to?
See, Detective Simpson said it was a good thing we called him. Because if I'd gone down and confronted Horton by myself, he would have been able to get rid of all the photographs before the police could even get there.
Unfortunately, most parents do just that, and the guy gets off scot-free. Oh, and by the way, Arnold, your evidence is going to help us a lot, too. I think I got all the details right here, including there was a cherry on the banana split he gave you.
Did I mention the chopped nuts?
Yeah, that, too.
Boy, I really spilled my guts.
I just can't get over this. We've known Mr. Horton for years. He seemed like such a nice man.
Now, that's the contradiction with child molesters. In their own strange way, they actually love children. The majority of them would never intentionally harm a child. The sad part is they can emotionally scar a child for life.
Man, I never would have guessed that Mr. Horton was, you know, gay.
Well, he's not, Willis. You know, that's the common fallacy about child molesters. They're not gay. They're only interested in little boys or little girls, not adults.
Look, I'm only 11 years old. Should I be hearing all of this?
Absolutely, Arnold. If more kids knew the facts, less of these things would happen. Unfortunately, child molesters prey on the innocence of children.
You're right about that, Mr. Drummond. Well, I think I'll be leaving now.
Thanks very much, Detective Simpson. We appreciate your help.
Oh, my pleasure, Mr. Drummond, believe me. So long, kids.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
How you doing, son?
Okay.
You want to talk about it?
Well, you're looking at one disillusioned dude. If you can't trust a nice man like Mr. Horton, who can you trust?
Oh, Arnold, I think you can trust most people, but you do have to be careful. Somebody wants you to do something that's wrong, or if they want you to lie to your parents, that is a person should not be trusted, no matter how good the reason they give you seems to be.
And you have to watch out for people who come on real strong and try to win you over with gifts.
That's right. And especially if they want to touch you where you don't want to be touched.
Thanks, Dad. I understand.
Any more questions?
Just one. Do I still get a bicycle for my birthday?
You sure do. And a radio. I'm mighty proud of you, son.
You know, I didn't like the things Mr. Horton was trying to do in the bicycle shop, but some hugs and kisses are still okay.
Let the credits go. The credits go.
If you know of a problem with child sexual abuse, please contact your local law enforcement or social service agency.
So what do you guys think?
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you?
So am I supposed to call my local law enforcement and let them know that they want smut available to children? Basically it's just grooming. It's grooming. That's what it is. And we need to be mindful of the past and what our our neighborhoods voted on in the past. In fact, I remember when I was a little girl back in Frogtown was where I grew up, and I remember my folks fighting to get rid of the nudie bars that were in the neighborhood and peep shows that were in the neighborhood. And oddly enough, there was this one on the corner of University and Dale. It was called the Faust. And it originally was like a children's theater. And then it turned into a Pornhub and peep show place. And in the 70s, I think it was built in like the 50s or something like that. I don't know. And then or even maybe even earlier, I don't know. But then in the 70s, it turned into this little Pornhub and peep show area. And then kitty corner to it, they built nudie bar. And so, or strip club, whatever you call them. I call them nudie bars. That's what we always call them, nudie bars. And there was the only two in St. Paul that had been allowed, but then the whole neighborhood was like, we don't want them here. And it's documented actually in history. You know what? I wonder, did I take a snapshot of it? Let me see if I might have a snapshot of it. Let me see. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I don't think I do. That's okay. Basically, they got rid of it. In fact, they turned the nudie bar into a police precinct for a period of time, and then it changed. Now it's a big apartment building with some shops underneath it. It's right on the freaking whatever light rail or whatever it is that goes up and down University Avenue into Minneapolis. And it basically that train it links Minneapolis and St. Paul. But honestly, people who live in St. Paul don't really care for people in Minneapolis that much. That's how it always used to be. I don't see it changed much because there's definitely a division there in how do I want to say this? I'm seeing there's a division of peoples. Now, St. Paul and Minneapolis are just filled with people of color. Okay, it's a melting pot. It is a melting pot. There's just, the white man is the minority, really, if you ask me. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's just, there's just, everybody's mixed. Everybody's half white and half whatever the hell else there is. It's just that's the way it is there. And that's how I grew up, just in this mixed area. But man, they at least had some morals back when I was a kid. They didn't want the nudie bars. Now they're talking about wanting to regulate bathhouses in Minneapolis. What? No. Let's not do that. How about no? How about gross? How disgusting. What is a bathhouse? Is that some gay shit? Come on, man. No. Stop that. Stop it, Minneapolis. Stop it. You guys in Minneapolis need to stop that weird stuff, man. You got to stop. You're out of control. Out of control. Out of freaking control. Oh, you guys, that's all I got to say today. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson of what we could learn from the past. Different strokes for different folks. I'm telling you, I cannot even believe that we have to even have this discussion. And I can't even believe that Representative Finke would actually say in open session, an open meeting, well, I want to protect the rights of queer students to have access to queer material. What? What? Shut up, man. And listen, Elliot Engen, get it together. You're going to be fine. This too shall pass. Do you trust God? Trust the Lord. He's taking you. Maybe he might. Hey, if he closes a door, another door will open. You're not just going to be locked and boxed in. That's not how it works. That's not how it's going to happen to you. This is an opportunity. And think about the opportunities that are going to come from this. Use it to your advantage. Turn the negative into a positive. Okay. That's all I got to say. You know what? I don't think anybody can learn anything more from me today, except for, let's see, hold on. Wait, stand by one. I might be able to find something that you can learn from. Hold on. Not that. No, remove. Let me delete. Remove from studio. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Do I have an outgoing video? I might. Let's see. Let me see, you guys. No. Was this the one that I was going to do a couple weeks ago and never used? It's possible. Oh, you guys, I didn't even get into this trial that I've been watching. Boy, oh boy. That's just going to have to wait for another day. I don't know. You know what? Let's play this one. This is one of my faves. Yeah, let's do this one. I like this one. We'll just play this one. Open. We'll play this. This is a good one. Stop that. Here you go. Have a good night, guys.
Light in my darkness. You step into my world, you illuminate it. Expose my brokenness, you restore me. You give me a life that is worth living for, worth dying for, perfect morning star. Your mercy new and fresh with every sunrise. Awake me from my slumber, you give me new eyes. Mesmerized by perfect love at first sight. And my heart cries to know you, dear God, is heaven on earth, heaven on earth, heaven, heaven on earth. To have you here, God, is heaven on earth. Oh, to know you, dear God, is heaven on earth, heaven on earth, heaven, heaven on earth. To have you here, God, is heaven on earth. Ageless one, the word that spoke the world into existence. Beyond its death, you reign in all of your brilliance. Your throne is my horizon. Your kingdom come, your will done. You've quenched my wanderlust. I patiently